here's your host, Deb St.Hilaire.
Welcome to the Divalution show. I didn't record that whole introduction, so I have to say that first. So here we are on this fall, summer-like day, and it's just been beautiful out. Days like this make me really happy that I live in Michigan. What about you guys?
Falling leaves really are nice.
My favorite time of year.
It is really nice right now. It's good to drink cider this time of year.
I love cider.
Yes. We should get Amy back in here. I don't know how to.
Yeah.
I don't want to yell Amy, but I'm going to have to go get her. So today is a good day. It's Misty isn't here. I mean, that's not why it's a good day, but Misty's not here. Becky's not here, but we ended up with a full house anyway. We have Amy here, hasn't been here for a while. Laura with LC Makeup is here. Pat's here. He does the show right after ours. And Juliana Tacey is here. And the other Amy, whose office is across the way, was here, but she's not now. But she might be again.
She's in and out.
So it's kind of fun. So if you would like to call in, we don't have any call-ins tonight. You can call in. That number is 989-402-5414. And here's Amy's back with us again. She's the photographer that's across the hall. And Laura's actually in the same building. So it's kind of fun having this little girls section up here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it nice?
Yeah.
I like it.
It always smells better on this
And
end of the
Josh.
building.
It does,
You gotta
yeah.
forget
Us and
Josh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Josh Sherrill, yeah.
Yeah, Diva Dude. He's the Diva Dude. Yeah. We can't forget about him. So if you would like to call in, if you have any questions or you want to talk to us, that number is 989-402-5414. I have my phone here if you would like to be in the chat room. I'll try to monitor that too as we're going. So last week, I don't know if you got to listen to the show, but if you didn't, you should definitely listen to it on iTunes and Spreaker, because we said goodbye to our friend Amanda Beeson with Lights of Georgia Jade, and they sang, and oh my God, that is a beautiful show. They sounded really good. I listened to it back. So definitely give a listen to that, and we had a good time with them.
It was nice to see them.
It was. And we'll have to have Allie back. It won't be the same without Amanda, but we'll give it a shot.
She may end up finding somebody that was, very instrumental in signing off last time.
Yes. And she
her.
did know a bunch of people, too. So.
Yes.
Oh, and we had one of our sponsors.
What I'm
Yes,
about.
Thank you for saying that. One of our sponsors, Holly's daughter, was here, and they sang that song, Four Non-Blondes, What's Up? And she was just going to sing it with them. And Amanda actually backed away from the microphone and let Raquel sing it. It was amazing.
Yeah.
She was
It worked
amazing.
out well. That's why I'm saying that those two would have done really good. I mean,
they would have. And she never played with them or heard them
No.
sing together
It was
or anything.
a first-time thing, and they clicked just like that. You could almost see the magic.
Mm-hmm. It was. You have to listen to that
Yeah,
show.
I'll have to
It
check
was
it
really
out.
good, and you would have not known that it wasn't Amanda.
Yeah.
I mean, or a professional, because she
Wow.
was just amazing. So
Well, she reads music, and
she's very talented. She's in musicals at school. She was
Gotcha.
in. So anyway, that was really a fun show. Today is National Business Women's Day. So Laura and I decided quite a while ago that we were going to have a conversation about that. And a lot of, right now there's more women that own businesses in the United States than there are men. And we employ more people.
That's awesome.
It is. And there's more women in college right now than there are men. So we're taking over slowly but surely.
Yeah.
Hopefully and this is my concern. Hopefully it'll be for the best. Right now there's a lot of us in the workforce, and we've had to work our butts off to get where we are. And in corporate America, and teachers, and all of us, we've had to work twice as hard as anybody else to prove ourselves. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of the reasons why women are going into owning their own businesses is because they're tired of
Yeah.
Well,
that.
there used to be that glass ceiling. You know, a woman could only go so far.
Well, and that's still the case, too.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
now we've decided to own our own businesses, and that stops ourselves from going to that wooden,
Right.
ceiling.
Then
now
we
have
can.
another
Then
one
we
to
go
to.
as far as we take ourselves.
That's it exactly.
So one day, months ago, Laura and I were talking about how difficult it is to own your own business.
Yes.
So we decided that we were going to talk about that today because it's National Business Women's
Oh,
Day.
nice that I'm here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we all own our own businesses. Did Amy come back? She was.
yet.
She was.
Okay. Oh, she had a
Yeah.
phone call.
Yes.
Okay. She owns her own business too. So, Laura, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us how long you've been in the business and what your major obstacle is?
Ooh, my major obstacle. Well, my name is Laura Corbat. I own Elsie Makeup Artistry. I've been in the industry for 11 years now, and I've owned my business for 6 years. Before that, I did work for a man. Oh, geez, my biggest obstacle? You're going to have to come back to me on that one, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a tough question
It
to
is,
just
yeah.
hit you
I
right
think
off.
I'm gonna, yeah.
So I'll ask you another one then. And save that one for later.
I'll save it.
Okay.
Yes.
What's your favorite thing about your job?
Favorite thing? I love giving women confidence. Yes, that is really why I do it. I love that, even if they have makeup on and they get that confidence that they can go home, and even if they take it off, I hope that a little bit of that sticks, that they can still feel beautiful even without it, because they now know how beautiful they are. And I think
that's a
really,
good point.
I think that goes hand in hand even with what Amy does,
Yes.
doing the photography,
And Chandra always says that too.
Yes.
And that's why she likes to photograph women.
Yep.
And that's a really good thing because there are so many women that don't feel like
Yes.
that.
Yep.
Juliana, you're a massage therapist and you've been in the business for 10 years now?
Close to 13.
Close to 13. What is your favorite thing about your job?
Making the people feel good. I mean, when they come in, they're usually hurting. And I've had a couple of people that when they're coming into the house, before I even get to touch my hands on them, they start crying because they know that when they leave, they're going to feel better.
Yes, and probably what a relief it is to know that it's that close. Yeah.
Well, the thing is that, I'm sure that doctors don't usually talk about their patients coming in to see them and knowing that they're going to feel better and crying. That's something doctors don't get. I get that high because I know that I'm going to make them feel better, and they know that I'm going to make them feel better too. And so when they leave, they feel better. They have that emotional contact, that release, because the crying always feels better once it's done. But they know that they can talk to me all the way through the session, and a lot of women do because that's a release too. Mm-hmm. And the thing is that I'm also taking care of the body, and I would take care of their body as a mother would take care of their daughter or something like that, because the person on that table is my focus, my key person.
And that's the same as you feel, too.
Yeah.
That person is your focus, and they
Yes.
have your undivided attention.
They do.
Because your office is right next door, I can't really hear through the door, but sometimes if I'm out on that end, I'll hear you
Yeah.
talking to them, and you really do put people at ease, and you ask them what they want.
Yes.
And you do the same thing.
I do.
And that's part of the difference, I think. To me, that's part of the difference between a man in business and a woman in business.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not what we want for you. It's what you want, what's going to make you happy and feel better. And I'm not saying anything bad about men in business. It's just that women, and not all men either, but and not all women. There's exceptions to both rules. We're more empathetic, emotionally
Yep.
tied to our clients,
Yeah.
and it would be more important for that person to be happy with what they wanted and what they think makes them feel. Although I'm sure that you suggest other things for them to try.
Yes. Yes, if needed.
Right.
Yes.
But
I'm probably the only person that, says, hey, can I have a hug before they go out the door?
right.
Because that's an exchange of energy, and I just put a lot of energy on that person. And I figure just a small little bit I can get back
Right.
just with a hug.
That's
and
a good
by that
point.
time, they feel better. They're feeling more confident. They're not crying anymore. And they're ready to leave.
That's good.
They feel better. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like that little bit of, hey, can I have a little hug?
And if you think about it, when you think about women in business, the ones that have kept a nurturing nature, it's just in us,
Yeah.
are teachers. And look at that is predominantly female oriented. Even now, real estate, it used to not be predominantly female. It is now. Why? Because you have to really listen to those people.
Yeah.
And I think it's women that make the most money in real estate now. I'd bet that.
Yeah.
Well, we're listening a lot carefully than we did before,
Right.
And
Yeah.
a lot more stuff is happening now. And with all that's taken a lot of takes us a lot further in their field.
Yes.
That ceiling that used to be there, now it's not there quite so much.
No, and hopefully that will keep changing. Although we are still making 87% of the same dollar that the men are making, with it exactly matched. And I think that's why so many of us, especially, and I hope that this continues with young women, you have the same exact know-how as a man would, and you're getting paid less. So what are you going to do?
I think
Start your own.
Yep.
That's what I would do.
I
Yeah.
think my daughter said it really all. You have to demand more. You're worth it. You should, ask for it. And a lot of us don't ask for what we should be getting.
Yeah.
Because we think we're not worth it for some reason.
Or
we
that, or
play
if we
ourselves
do,
down.
Then somebody's
Then-
going to tell us that we're not.
Yes. Or people then view us differently.
Right, as
Yeah.
bitches.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes. Yep.
And
So-
I think
Yeah.
that's why the corporate world is so hard, because you when you're home, you're this way,
Yeah.
and when you're there, you're forced
Yep.
to be somebody that you're really not. And although there are women that, and there are women that are supposed to be in that kind of business.
Yeah.
They're strong and
I think about Margaret
willful.
Thatcher. She was something else
Yeah,
in the
she's-
world. And now, we don't have a good Margaret Thatcher to look up to. I mean, she was an Iron Lady, and that's what they called her. But she wasn't that at home, I'm sure.
Well, there are a lot of really strong women in business now. Nicole that was here, that's works at Chrysler. She's might get her own vehicle to design. She's an engineer.
Oh, wow.
And I'm sure she's not the only woman in that position now. And we're starting to be recognized for our talents.
Yeah.
And she's very feminine.
I like to see that.
I mean, she takes it, she
Yeah.
wears really nice makeup and she has blonde hair, and she takes that to work like that.
Yeah.
That's how we need to be.
Yes.
We need to be comfortable in our own skin and yet forceful.
Yeah.
Forceful and a little bit feminine. I mean, I like to see strong women, but I like to see them in a little bit of lacy things. I mean, I don't like to see... I see more pants on women every day. And it's not that they can't be feminine in pants. It's just I like them to be a little bit more women,
Right.
girly.
And I think that that's coming around. Don't you feel
Yes.
like that?
Yeah.
Like even the fashion, the suits. Remember how masculine they all
Yes.
used to be? And that's
Yeah.
not the case anymore.
Nope.
Well, Annie Hall is gone.
Yeah. Oh, I loved that movie. So, what do you see as the problems in your line of work?
My line of work, the problems, as far as me running the business.
Yeah, as far as you running the business.
I think in my line of work, I have it a bit maybe easier than some women would, just because mine is geared mostly towards
Women.
females.
Yeah.
So I don't, as far as that goes, I don't really run into any problems. Mine is, I feel, and getting even back to the obstacles, you asked me that question earlier, is finding the grants or the loans to try to, grow your business. There's a lot of that out there, but not so much geared towards what I do.
Yeah.
And so you're talking